So today, I have a little bit more Battlefield 4 news to share with you guys, and a couple of tweaks and a couple of changes from the information that I gave you a couple of days ago. A little bit more digging has been done inside Battlelog, and we've been able to unearth some information about the Phantom, which is the name for the compound bow. So first of all, those changes. I mentioned the Phantom assignment a couple of days ago in my video. That has changed, or the information that was read out then is slightly different to what we have right now. It's been clarified that the Phantom assignment, or at least the gift that you get at the end for completing it, is not going to be the bow. It's going to be the dog tag for the bow instead. And the way that you have to unlock the dog tag is that you have to use the bow in order to get to it. So the bow is already unlocked, or will be unlocked, supposedly, if you've completed the Phantom Initiate assignment, which is the third assignment in the Phantom program. Now, I'm going to surmise that you're probably going to have to have completed all 3 of the Phantom assignments to be able to gain access to this bow. It just seems logical that you would have to follow it all the way through to be able to get your prize, and then in the 4th assignment, if you want the dog tag for the bow, you're going to have to work hard for it. So those are the amendments to the information that I gave out a couple of days ago. Does seem to make sense actually, once you look at it all in front of you. Does make a lot more sense than what I said a couple of days ago. But moving on to what I actually wanted to talk about today, and those are the statistics for the 3 different types of ammunition that we're going to be able to use with the Phantom Bow. Now, these are Battlelog stats, so they're no longer 100% guaranteed, and it's very difficult to actually gauge what sort of scale they're working on in comparison to other weapons out there. The Battlelog system for damage and range and things like that is completely different to the in-game statistics that you might expect to read on Simthic.com, for example. So I can't give you 100% accurate ones, but at least we can look at the 3 different types of arrows that you're going to be able to use and compare them against each other to see how they're going to be most effective. So let's take a look at these ammunition types. So first of all, we're going to be looking at the broadhead arrow. And just to give you a little bit of background from my previous video, the broadhead arrow provides a balance in range and accuracy. So this thing is pretty much the standard bow that you can expect to use with the Phantom. Something that's probably going to be the first type that you unlock, or will already be there when you get access to the bow. Looking at the graphic in the bottom left hand corner, you can see it's equipped with iron sights. Now that makes sense for a compound bow. It doesn't look as if you can attach any optics to this thing at all, because in real life if you're using one of these, it's not like you can stick an 8x rifle scope on it. It just doesn't work that way. So it looks as if iron sights are going to be the standard thing to use. And the stabilizer attachment is also equipped as well. Now it's not clear as to whether the stabilizer will be on the bow at all times, whether it comes with the stabilizer, or whether it's something that you have to unlock after you've used the bow for a little while. But for this purpose, it is attached. And here we see the statistics for the weapon. So remembering that this arrow provides a balance between damage, accuracy, and range, you're looking at damage of 100, which is extremely high. Accuracy of 75, so I take it the further you're trying to shoot somebody away from, the less accurate it's going to be. The range is fairly limited anyway. If you remember the standard bolt from Battlefield 3's crossbow, the standard bolt on there did have a lot of drop on it after about 15 to 20 meters anyway, but it does have a very high stability level. The one thing that sort of caught my eye here is the hip fire. It doesn't have any. That leads me to think that the bow might not actually give you the ability to hip fire, and that would make sense because you need to pull back the string to be able to fire the bow. You can't just sort of click it and fire it. Remember back in BF3 you could hip fire the crossbow, but that's because it was mounted on an actual M16 body, so it gave you the ability to hip fire, but it looks as if in BF4 we're not going to be able to do that with the compound bow. Moving on to the second ammunition type, we have the bullet point arrow. And a small reminder, the arrow flies straight and true by sacrificing damage for weight reduction. So this to me sounds like a little bit more of a long range arrow than the one we had before, the broadhead. Now, like I said, the broadhead sounds like the standard arrow. This one sounds like you're going to be able to use it at slightly longer range, but you're going to have to sacrifice some of the damage that you'd get from an up close shot. So looking again here, the damage has dropped from 100 to 80, and the accuracy has stayed around 75, so it looks as if overall the arrow is going to be a little bit lighter. Once again, no hip-fire accuracy, but there is an increase in range. We're now up at 22 for the range, which is a small increase from the broadhead. Not massive, but like we said, if you're going for those slightly long-range targets, this is the arrow that you're probably going to want to use. And the third arrow is the explosive tip. Now, if you can remember back to Battlefield 3 with the explosive tip crossbow back there, you'll remember that this thing was a very heavy arrow, and I think that's going to be exactly the same as Battlefield 4. For those of you that didn't play Battlefield 3, the explosive tip arrow had a bit of Semtac stuck on the end of it, so as soon as it hit something, it would explode. Now, if you got a direct hit on a player inside 12 meters, you get the kill, but if you're starting to hit vehicles with it, you had to be quite close to be doing the damage that you wanted to do. It would have severe bullet drop otherwise. So looking at the statistics here, it does a very high damage of 90, which seems like you're not going to be able to get that one hit kill on infantry, but then mainly that's not what it's for. I guess it's there for taking out vehicles and things like that. The accuracy again stays at 75, no hip fire as we expected, but the range has dropped all the way down to 8. And you have to remember the one before was at 22, so this thing is going to have significantly reduced range, but the stability is still at 100. So those are the 3 types of ammunition that you're going to get to use. As I said, it looks as if we're stuck with iron sights, and we're not sure yet if the stabilizer is going to be always attached or whether it's something you can take off. We're not sure how it affects the weapon yet. But as I say, those are the 3 types of arrows. I think this is a really, really cool idea to add into the game. It's a first for the Battlefield series. We've had a crossbow before, but we haven't had a compound bow, so I cannot wait to get my hands onto it. For those of you that don't know, Final Stand is releasing on the 18th of November for premium users, and I'll be involved in an EA stream between the developers at DICE LA and some of the guys over at EA Russia as well. So I'm going to be streaming that from 5 PM on my Twitch channel, which I'll leave in the description. I've started streaming a little bit more now, guys, so if you're into Twitch streams, then there's a link in the description that you can follow. You can follow my channel, and I'll have a stream up there at 5 PM GMT on Tuesday next week, the release of Final Stand. But thank you very much for watching. Make sure you leave a rating and a comment on this video. Let me know what you think about the compound bow and the 3 different types of ammunition that we're going to get to use. But thank you very much for watching. My name is Westie, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.